Welcome to the Redvee TV Show, supported by Chapel House Cars for the 2025 season. And this episode is called Oh No, Not Again. And I'm not talking about having to watch me and you.
Which some people may think that as well. Yeah, another Friday night filming for a Sunday game. I'm going to give a shout out to someone I work with who is, I think, of advancing years and slightly losing his marbles. When he asked if we'd thrown a sickie or hadn't bothered this week putting a show out, I think he was fully expecting it on Wednesday. But if we're playing tonight, well, we're missing the game because it's going to kick off in about 10 minutes. My mate John from work, we'll dedicate this whole episode to you. And I'm sorry because he did tell me that we'd ruined his Friday lunchtime because that's when he listens to us.
Now he's sat at his desk waiting for 8:30 to roll round so he can watch it before he can go home.
Right, there is no way he's sat at his desk.
Right,
No.
anyway, why do we have to play Salford again?
It's even the fact that, have we played Lee yet? Have we played Hull FC yet?
No. We've played
So,
this will be the third time.
I mean, right, when I saw someone, and they're obviously on the wind up, but I saw another team's fan on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, saying, "Oh, Saints have got it easy playing Salford 3 times." I absolutely nailed on guarantee that when we got Salford 3 times in November when these fixtures were out, not one person thought we're currently going to have conceded one try and scored 100 and what are we, 28 or something like that against Salford in 2 games. No one thought that at all. Yet we've got a bit lucky with this Salford situation, which you don't necessarily want the fans to have to go through, or the players come to that. But yeah, round it 3 times, 3 times in the league. It just makes a mockery of how the fixtures work, and it's a shame that you can't have it where you play everyone at like home or away. Maybe have a mid-season break, stick an international in there if you want, have a couple of weeks off, then start the second half of the season. And guess what? You started at Castleford away. Well, in this second half, you're going to play Castleford at home at some point,
Well,
etc., etc.
it's funny you should say that because apparently on the RFL agenda next month is a call to potentially take Super League to 14 teams next year.
Yeah, good.
Can't see it. Can't see it because clubs are going to have to split the TV money more ways. But
And I know people will say that it'll dilute the product and the number of players that you kind of have coming through and all that. But is it? I'd possibly look at, is it short term pain there for a longer term gain? Of yeah, it might not be at the. I mean, I don't think it's at the level it was back in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, or whatever. But maybe it's that dip that hopefully you come out the other side and you've then got 14 good teams and
you
some
say that,
championship.
Kev, but when you go back to look at Super League 20, 25 years ago, early 2000s, there was Saints, Wigan, Bradford, Leeds.
Yeah, it was great. It felt great for us anyway. Let's
But
put it.
but
All right,
but
let's put it that way.
you'd argue now, or I would argue now, the standard of play isn't as good. But is this as competitive as Super League has been in a while? I listen, OKR and Wigan probably ahead of the pack, but everybody down to probably even Huddersfield getting the act together in the last couple of weeks, capable of getting a result.
Yeah, is it as entertaining?
No,
Is the product as entertaining?
the sport
Do
as a
you
whole
think?
isn't. Listen, what
Yeah,
what did I say to you the other week? If Saints folded tomorrow, I would not watch another game of rugby league in my life. That'd
yeah,
be it for me. Done, dusted. Save me. I just wouldn't bother.
yeah. Fair enough.
I, listen, who was it? Who was it who was saying that it looks like Dave's on a bit of a downer with Saints in recent weeks?
Well, about that.
Um, You know me, Kev. You know you've travelled to games with me. Even when we are winning everything, you know I'm not a massive fan of the actual game in
No,
terms of entertainment value. I struggle with it sometimes.
yeah,
I struggle with the way the direction of the game. I struggle with a lot of it, and then you could probably sum it up with two words: Nigel Wood.
yeah. That feels like a massive step backwards, doesn't it?
Phoning it. I'm not even gonna make any more comments than that.
Yeah,
It's just
okay.
I just look at it and go, shake your head. Right.
Yeah. And I think quite a few people. The last bit on it, I think quite a few people do actually share that they love the game, but there are facets of it that they really struggle with, whether that is on field, off field, marketing, crowd, whatever that might be. I
I
think
I
people.
I love the club.
Mhm.
I want Saints to do well, I want Saints to be successful.
Yeah,
But as a sport, it's almost unwatchable at times. With the you can an 80-minute game can take 2 hours, the video takes forever, the decision maker's terrible, there's no consistency. The only thing I will be positive about and say has got better this year is the disciplinary with players not being banned every 2 minutes.
yeah,
I like the point system. It seems to be working and it seems to be ensuring that the better players stay on the field.
yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what's the disciplinary's been in longer than a couple of months. But I take your point. Take your point.
Okay, right. Let's get on. Let's get on. Oh, no, it's not. It's called. Oh no, not again. It's not them again.
Oh, not them again. So you've even started and made it difficult for people to watch by having a different title.
Yeah.
Yeah, not them.
I really confused them when I put the instant fan reaction up and put the wrong score on it initially. But there we go.
Yes, I noticed somebody chasing that round the internet. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. The summer range has arrived. There is still sun in the sky. Just about. Just so, in case you didn't know, it was the summer range. We've put a big picture of a sun from MS GIFs or whatever it is on the image. I, I've got no complaints with the colourway, the range. It goes with the shirt. I'd almost argue it would have been nice for it to come out with when the jersey did alongside it, so people could have bought the range all together. Um, I kind of suspect that they've seen the colour come out, the colour of the shirt come out. It's sold well, and somebody's gone quick. We better order some gear in the same colour.
I think this should have been out weeks ago.
But if you probably look from when the Magic Fade kit came out to the time that this is now coming out, they've probably done it as quick as they can because there was no foresight there to actually have this range planned. It
But
was probably going to be a black or a red jersey until they actually seen the Fade kit sell well.
did somebody say? Did somebody say somewhere on the internet that you've got a downer on the club at the minute, Dave?
I've somehow
I forgot
turned
who
a
was
positive
talking
about
about.
how nice that is into a negative, but
Mm,
some would say I'm cynical, and some would say I'm probably nailed on bang right somewhere along the line.
yeah, there may well be some truth in
No
what
one
you
will
say.
admit to it.
But as I say, it's just that it's a shame everything isn't kind of a couple of weeks beforehand. So third shirt comes out a couple of weeks before it does. This then comes out a couple of weeks before it does, and really get people going in. As we've mentioned in the past, just get the fixtures up here. We've obviously got Salford on Sunday, then we're away at Hull, then we're away at Leeds, then we've got a Thursday night in July um, at home against Leigh. Then you wait until the 1st of August when we're at home against Cass. Um,
Can I make another suggestion if the club wants to make money?
yeah,
Do you know when you go to like a music festival or you go to a concert and you've got a gazebo with your merch in,
yeah,
and you've got like the t-shirts pinned up and your t-shirts 40 quid, your hoodies 60 quid, etc. The concourse at the stadium is that big. How difficult would it be to basically put a wallpaper table in there with the Saints gazebos that they take out when they're on like coaching festivals and stuff. Have some merch in there in boxes. Have a member of staff there and have it on sale during the game for like the 80 minutes. Because how many people arrive at the stadium and don't go in the shop?
Um, yeah, I mean, when you say wallpaper table,
Okay. You know what I mean? Look, a
yeah,
couple of long plastic tables where you could sell merch off in the stadium.
I suppose the issue is how many staff do you need for it? How many staff
Two.
are employed? Are you putting one in each one of the stands? Are you just having one in each one of the stands?
Put one, trial it. Just put it in to start with. Stick it not far off the turnstiles in the. Let me do me
In the west, in the south?
southwest corner.
Okay.
But
So taking two members of staff out the shop.
yeah, two members
Okay.
of staff, a card reader, and some merch. And you know what? If you start running out of a size, you just go in the shop and go and get a couple more.
If you probably have to get someone to bring it to you if you want two on. If that's all available, yeah, great idea. And I'll leave it at that. Of if that's all available,
Yeah,
then
you got
great
because
idea.
you've got nothing to lose. You might not sell anything, and then you don't do it again.
Okay.
But it's one of those. People have had a few beers. They see some merch. Do you know what? The cash starts flowing, especially if you win. If you
It's not going
win,
to be there. It's not going to be there at the end of the game, though, Dave, because they even start shutting the bar that sells
yes,
ale.
yeah,
So
you struggle to be able to go for a pee without a
yeah,
steward trying to pull you out.
right.
Genuinely, honest to God, the shutters are coming down. You're trying to go to the toilets, and they're coming into the toilets to shove you out the stadium. It's you wouldn't think you were a customer.
No.
Bizarre. Anyway, so there's another moan. Rack 'em up.
Oh, you're proper on one, aren't you?
Tell me
But
I'm wrong, though. Tell me I'm wrong. But do you know what? Yeah, think think outside the box.
yeah, that's it. Because obviously the Rangers sold the shirt sold well according to the releases from the club, saying that it's the best selling third shirt we've ever had. Great stuff. Um, Going off the back of it, yeah, same colorway. People obviously like the colorway, so get stuff in, get that churn of stock in the shop. It's almost a case of I think we go with O'Neill's because they can just get stuff. Remember when we were with ISC, the stuff was absolutely bulletproof, but also you had to get it from like it got shipped in,
Yeah,
and you had to order a certain amount. It's almost like you need to make a lot more of this stuff more limited edition and just keep getting through stuff in the shop.
yeah. Speaking of
Uh,
limited edition, obviously the third shirt has sold really well. I did have a quick look on the website before. There is very limited stock of the men's jersey, so if you are a 5XL, you're in luck. Any other size, not a chance.
okay,
Right, we've given them enough airtime. See, do you know what? Publicity, this Kevin.
yeah,
Publicity.
it is publicity. You're right. But
Talk us through that one, Kevin.
well, it looks like everyone's dropped out. Oh, there we go. There we go. I can talk you through that one if you like.
Go on then, Kevin.
One player drops out, and that is Will Roberts, who has joined Widnes Vikings on a 2-week loan to go and get some game time over there. And George Whitby, fresh from passing his HIA protocols, comes back into the squad.
Okay then, Kevin. Talk
Yeah.
me through the logic of flogging our entire first team against a team that I still argue me and you could be part of the 17 and we would still win.
Yeah,
We'd probably do the Noah Stevens 5 minutes off the bench role.
I
But
don't think I'd do that much, but
yeah, you just do Moses's meters.
fair enough. Um, yeah, I think because we've got a few players out with injury, that obviously forces your hand, doesn't it?
No.
But it does. It does.
No, because there's players there who still won't see the field.
That's then the point that you've got to name pretty much the same squad, but you could be playing the likes of your Jake Davis, giving him a bit of time. We're short on second rows as it is, so you could have him on the bench. Thankfully, Jake Burns got a bit of a run out last week and should get one again. John Bennison could arguably come into that team, get him a bit of match sharpness, albeit one game. But this is the time where you've got to get your prop forwards who aren't doing minutes some big minutes. There is no point. We know what Matty Lees can do. We know what Alex Walmsley can do. We know what Morgan Knowles can do. If you're going to have them in and round, you've got to give them less minutes to A, not flog them because you don't need to, and B, get your minutes into the legs of Noah Stevens, who has been hard done to with minutes, I think, this season. If Iggy's in your 17, you've got to give him the minutes to get into his legs. Jake Wingfield, yeah, he's another one. Yeah, he's had a good game against Leeds last week, but he needs minutes in the legs, so you keep him in and you get him going there. But it's just that chance to be able to go. We've got a couple of lads here who you can get a game in. The likes of Jake Davis, give him his debut. Why not? Perfect time for it.
Yeah. Because do you get so Alex Walmsley? Will bet my bottom dollar we will start Alex Walmsley.
Yeah.
Why? What do you gain from it? Is there anything to gain from it?
I don't know. Because you know what you're getting out of it. Are you just going to end up with playing him and then if you're not quite where you want to be, forcing the issue by making him do a little bit longer against Salford,
Well,
rather than bringing him off the bench because you're not where you want to be.
but he takes a
And
head knock.
team, yeah,
He takes a head knock and he misses Hull FC next week, which is more important given the way the table is. Matty
yeah,
Lees, same. If you want to say, okay, we're going to bring George Whitby back into the team purely on the basis that, okay, he had a week off last week. So we don't want him missing a couple of games. So we'll give him minutes. Give Darrell Clark a week off.
yeah,
Use Moses and Jake Burns at 9.
yeah. Or arguably Jake Wingfield if you wanted to.
If we go with the same old tried and tested, I just don't get it. Uh, if you want to argue, well, we want to keep the run going, we want to keep consistency of the performance.
I think that will be it. I think it will be the trying to get the combinations because the likes of Joe Batchelor's a couple of weeks away. James Bell's had a setback. Percy's a couple of weeks away. Lewis Murphy, again, another one who's out. It's possibly that we want to make sure that Dion Cross and Owen Dagnall are good together. We know Harry Robertson and Kyle Felt are. They've sorted their partnership out straight away at the start of the season. But the likes of your front row and Morgan Knowles throw into that as well. Do you need to flog them from the start?
Not for me.
And I'm not saying that you might go right. We're gonna drop all of them, all three of them, all four. Count Morgan Knowles. You might not say that. You might go right. Well, we're going to start Morgs on the bench, and we're going to start Al on the bench. Darrell Clark is going to start because we're not going to bring George Whitby back in, so we need Moses at 7. But Matty Lees, we have got Jake Wingfield, we have got George Delaney, we've got Iggy Parsi. I'm naming them two first because they're like mobile middles. Iggy Parsi, Noah Stevens, all to cover your minutes. Matty, go and get yourself away this weekend, lad. go and have a weekend off. Don't worry about it. We'll see you back. We'll see you back in training on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. We will see.
Yeah.
How many of this Salford team will show up? Will get paid? Who knows?
What team's that?
None of
That
them. None of them
that
are going to. None of them are going to turn up, Kev, because they're playing in the curtain raiser beforehand.
Yeah, because that is not Salford's 21-man squad.
It is.
Not for our game, it isn't.
It is for the academy game, though, Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin, I'm only joking with you. The joke is, no one would notice whether we were playing the Salford A team or the Salford B team.
Fair enough. I mean, there's some squad numbers there, aren't there? Up to number 56.
What number would these lads get?
Yeah, don't know.
Yeah, so how many of these guys will be paid? I know. Do you know what? I say that tongue in cheek 'cause it's not even funny. It's fellas'
No,
livelihoods that are at stake, and at the club are an absolute joke.
they've been paid.
And
They've been
fair play
paid
to all of
today.
them lads for still putting their hands up.
Yeah, they've been paid today. To be fair,
Brilliant.
and they've got away with the got away. That's the wrong phrase, but they have had the winding up petition put back
Delayed.
as well. Yeah, they have got a couple of players back, but you just think that there's just too much kind of upheaval there for him to be any type of threat. We've just got to be professional about it. I think when it comes to our performance and concentrating on us, we've just got to be professional and probably be another step above how we were against them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I watched Johnny Vaughan last week against Hull FC, and I thought he went all right. He's shining in that team. Did well to help assist to score their try. Fair play to the likes of Ryan Brealey, Chris Hill, who have stuck with it and been consummate professionals throughout all this. And another ex-Saints being added to their squad this week in Danny Richardson. And Saints will be hoping he doesn't come back to haunt us this week.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he will.
Miss me eyes then.
What's that?
You missed me eyes. You weren't looking.
No, you're on. You're in a little corner box, so I can read this squad. The Salford website says the experienced halfback will add organisation and quality in attacking areas, and will no doubt complement the returning Nicarima, which he will do. He'll add kind of a different dimension to the game. We've just got to stay on top of him. And I think the benchmark is the result from 2 weeks ago. It's not the result from the first game of the season. It's the result from 2 weeks ago.
For me, that's a low bar because we should be putting our foot down and scoring more than that.
Well, that's the bare minimum you expect at home to be beating these by. What was it, 42 that we won by?
42 score, 38.
No, was it not 46-4?
Oh, I don't know. Don't trust whatever you see. Don't trust the headline on Redvee's instant reaction, whatever you do.
And I know that's it. They've got a couple back, but you've got to think that going into work and not knowing if you're going to get paid. It's all very well they've been paid this month, but not knowing if you're going to get paid next month, not knowing what the future brings, not knowing what's going to happen at the end of the season. That's got to have a big toll on these lads. And as much as it's an absolute abomination what has happened to them, it's not these lads' fault. It's not the fans' fault. So the fact that
they've been shafted.
Yeah, the fact that these lads are still able to put their hands up, get selected, get out there and show the pride in the Salford jersey is a testament to them. And I think that when it gets to the end of the season, and they kind of find out probably that quite a few of them may well be playing Championship rugby with Salford next year, because I can't see them. They can't stay up, can they? In the current guys.
And I think that's the interesting one. If Super League goes to 14 clubs next year, you've got to assume these are going and won't be
Yeah,
allowed to stay in the league. Does that mean three are coming up from the Championship?
it's going to happen, isn't it?
So who would it be? Toulouse, Bradford, Oldham, York,
London.
London? Yeah, the London Hounds. Oh, I don't think
Oh
they make that.
God,
I don't.
let's not start on that. That is one of the worst things I have ever heard. It is though. It's a terrible name,
You
and
do. You just know they're going to come out to who let the dogs out, aren't you?
yeah, and I've seen some different people like saying, "Oh yeah, it's a terrible name. Stick with Broncos," which is what I do. And how to kind of market it, and we should be looking at the Antipodean audience down in London. That's what they did for years.
Do you know what, Kev? I'm sure it was it. Who was talking? Was it Hetherington saying he'd been talking to a prominent RL journalist in the UK who wasn't British? Which I think we can all probably work out. I'm assuming it's probably Steve Muscord. And he suggested that they should rebrand themselves as London Rugby League.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if it's
Be
not,
clear what you are.
it'll be Mascot or John Davidson,
John Davidson,
possibly.
one of the two. London, I know it sounds like basic, but in an environment where you're struggling to be heard, you call yourself the London Hounds, and all of a sudden people think they're going dog racing.
Yeah, I just said that is like it does exactly what it says on the tin. We're London Rugby League. And it's almost like you see it all the time on Facebook or on Twitter, especially when people say, "Is there a player like a footballer, especially who you only call by his full name?" And one that always gets brought up is Billy Gilmore. You never hear him called Gilmore. It's never like say Ronaldo or Messi, where you know him as a single name, and you would make sure that everyone referred to you as London Rugby League.
It's like them bad pundits who have to refer to that lot as you can't just call them by the name. They've got to have FC on the end. Not, and I'm not talking about Hull. I'm talking about football here.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, exactly. It go simple. Don't go daft. If you're going to leave it as Broncos, fine, because you've been that for ages now. And I know they've been through different iterations, Harlequins of Fulham and stuff like that. But keep it simple. Let people know what they're going watching, and don't whoever's given them the Hounds one must be laughing. Really, in the back of their mind, they're laughing, going, "He's going with that. He's going with the one that we thought of at 5 to 5 on a Friday."
I feel sorry for them if they launch a women's team. It's just like, would you want to go and play for them?
No, well, no, but
It's
London Rugby
just
League that makes so much sense. You don't have to have. Look at us. We've never took an
Monica.
extra name.
A Monica.
Yes, very good. I was going to call it an Americanism.
Well, yeah. But London Rugby League. What are you going to watch? I'm going to watch London Rugby League.
Yeah,
Rather than who are you going to watch? I'm going to watch London Hounds. What? Are you going dog racing? No Rugby League. Next question. Why are they called the Hounds then?
yeah. Doesn't make sense to me that. We do
But
digress.
nuts. Maybe Nigel Wood can get in there and sort it out.
Yes.
And I think that is the note to end on.
Fair enough.
When you're watching this, all of the mistakes and edits will be disappeared.
Are you not going to ask for a prediction? Because again, I sometimes get messages saying Dave didn't ask for a prediction this week.
Yeah, because I think you're going to say Saints by 52, and I'm going to say Saints by 58.
Yeah, okay.
Kev, give us a prediction.
Saints need to win by over 50 for it to be a successful afternoon.
What do you think it'll be?
52.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do people really say Dave didn't ask you for a prediction?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
sad little lives they lead.
No, these are
Thanks for
people
watching, everyone.
yeah, these are people who care. They care about our opinions.
Your opinion.
Yeah, man, not yours.
To tune into it, what Dave's weekly moans.
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh, do you know what? I'll cheer up sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
I'm watching Leeds in the background here, marauding through another League poor defence.
yeah.
There we go.
I'm just watching I'm just watching it here as well. Yeah, length of the field, well, ish, 70-meter effort.
Yeah. Right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you Sunday afternoon after a Saints victory. Catch you soon.